What did he say?
A few meters before the river, it's basically a cliff, 30 meters down.
Kann ich durch deine Garten gehen?
Hope there's no one chilling in his backyard. That would be a big problem. And otherwise, we end the challenge 800 meters or even closer to our endpoint.
Welcome back to the straight line quest across Luxembourg, and thank you for making it all the way to the final episode. I was on my fourth and final day, and it was gonna be the most demanding day yet, with about 16 kilometers to cover. I also had to make sure I arrived fairly early at the German border, as me and Jakob had to catch the last bus of the day back to our host Lina. I calculated that I had to walk slightly faster than 1 kilometer per hour, which, believe it or not, is a brutal pace if you're walking in a straight line. And to make it even more complex, the route was going to be by far the hilliest one yet, which would make it more tiring and also added the risk of potential cliffs on the line. Despite the demanding route, I was determined to make it by the end of the day, as I was growing increasingly tired from the lack of sleep and long days of walking, and so adding another day to the trip and thus another short and cold night in the nature didn't sound appealing at all. And so, with the simple yet challenging mission to reach the German border as soon as I possibly could, the adventure continued. I woke up before sunrise in my 5-star cornfield, quickly packed my stuff, reviewed my accommodation online, and started heading towards the border. It had been a rainy night, but luckily my tarp had withstood the wind and kept me dry. The day started right away with an environment characteristic of this final day, a hilly and seemingly never-ending forest. It dawned upon me that I must have been a weird sight for people who saw me. Some guy packed with bags taking the most illogical routes in the middle of a forest at 7 in the morning. Despite the occasional steep incline and dense pine tree areas, I was able to get a good pace going as I walked through the at times fairy tale-like forest. After a few quiet and peaceful hours of walking through the forest, I arrived at what appeared to be someone's farm and I had to go straight through it. Moments later, the owner appeared. Bonjour. Do you speak English?
A little bit.
I'm crossing the entire country in a straight line. Ich spaziere durch das Land in einer straight line.
Ja.
Kann ich durch deine Garten gehen?
Nee.
Nein?
Ja, straight line. Du kannst hier rauskommen, auf die Straße.
Da?
Auf die Straße, ja.
Okay.
The woman wanted me to walk around her property, but in a last attempt to keep up my straight line, I tried to cross her garden to see if she would be fine with it.
Nee. Ja, ja,
Oh, okay. Da? Okay.
A bit further up ahead though, she did allow me to walk through her property.
Ja? Okay. Danke. Alright. Vielen Dank. Thank you so much.
Which crazy project?
I have a YouTube channel and I came all the way from the Belgian border and now I'm walking towards Germany and today is the last day.
Oh.
It's intense. I have to walk 16 kilometers today.
So you come here on the edge?
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. First real interaction with someone whose ground I'm on.
It still fascinated me that in all those days of non-stop trespassing, my first interaction with the landowner came on the last day. I was happy to have made it through though, and not much later my long and lonely morning came to an end as I met up with Jakob.
What's up, boy?
Oh, and I got electrocuted, by the way. Like, real hard. It really hurt. I didn't think it was electric or electrified. And then all of a sudden I felt this huge shock in my back. And I screamed it out. I was like, ah! Like in the middle of a farm, no one around. It was horrible.
With a lot of kilometers still to cover, we marched on into another large forest with at times drops that were so steep that I could slide down the foliage, which turned out to be a lot of fun.
Here we go. Whee! Yeah. Whoa. This might be the most fun part of the entire trip. Kind of got like a roller coaster here. Whoa! Oh shit! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wow.
Soon we had slid all the way down the hill and arrived at some more fields.
I feel like we're walking to Mordor.
Marching towards
Frodo, you just join me again. The return of Sam. Just battled your way through some orcs. I kind of feel like GPS device is my ring. You know? It's holding me back a lot. Just want to travel along the path, but GPS device is keeping me from doing that.
So this is the first cow we actually see with the milk machines. I don't know how they're called.
Milk machines. Oh, nice milk machines, dude.
After a brief spell of fields, we arrived at our first cliff. We didn't have any ladders nor climbing equipment, and so our only option was to find a way around them, staying as close to the line as possible. At first we thought we had to go around pretty far, but then...
There's a path here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Look at this. Pretty close to our line. Oh, hello. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
We are actually walking across the entire country in a straight line.
So you try to make the line as straight as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, we kind of thought we had to go up here, but apparently line is like going right up here.
We're very happy with this path.
Yeah, it's like the first time in like a long, long time that we're actually walking on a path. Where do we have to go? Up there.
We have to go up here.
All right, then. Have a nice day.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll try to at least. The paths are getting smaller and smaller. Oh man, I'm getting more and more empathy for Frodo and Sam. Doing all this shit barefoot. It's so funny how many people have just left confused, in pure confusion. It's like, yeah, we're walking across the entire country in a straight line, bye. Most of the time we're not going the same way they are. Most of the time they're just following the path and we're just going in a random direction into the forest. So the interactions don't last very long. It's funny how I kind of get used to nature, by the way. We're just lying down everywhere and grabbing onto every branch and just like putting our hands and feet everywhere. Like we're just chilling right here in the middle of I don't even know. There's like insects everywhere. It definitely helped me lower my insectophobia this trip.
A few moments later.
He's kind of scared of wasps, and he just ran away all over the field.
It was on me and then I hit it off me.
After curing my waspophobia and walking right past this indifferent farmer, we arrived at what looked like someone's garden. And though I technically had been walking through people's gardens for 3 days non-stop now, this was scarier as it was a smaller fenced garden right behind someone's house.
Kind of looks like private property, like someone actually's garden.
Kind of hope there's no dog here, first of all. Second of all, I hope there's no owner. Third of all, I hope it's easy to cross the fence on the other side. Don't feel good about balancing on this thing, but okay. There's a house over there. I'm gonna be as quiet as I can. There we go. Hope there's no one chilling in his backyard. That would be a big problem. Wow, what a beautiful garden, by the way. Let's see. There's someone there. Don't think there's anyone there. Someone might be home though. Let's get to the other side quickly. Pretty sure there was someone sitting inside. There we go. Alright. I think we made it pretty much on the line. Nice. Oh. Maybe wait until... Yeah. Hello. Hello. How are you? Was that your house? Yeah. Okay, I just walked through it. I hope that's okay. I'm walking across the entire country in a straight line. Ich spaziere durch das Land in eine gerade Linien. Ja. Also, guten Tag noch. Thank you. Bye bye. And while I walk through some more back gardens, I think it's time to have a look at today's line so far, as there have been quite a few deviations, and big ones too. First off, there's some deviations in the forest early on. A few reasons for these deviations are that I was in a hurry and paid less attention to the line and more attention to my pace. The environment was also very hilly and some areas were impossible to pass or impossible to pass quickly. And lastly, as mentioned earlier on in this series, the GPS signal in forests isn't that accurate, and so sometimes I thought I was online, but I actually wasn't. Next up was the furthest deviation of the whole trip so far. Right after crossing the lady's property, my GPS batteries decided to retire. Oh no. It said the batteries were low. I was left with a vague idea of where I had to go, but luckily I was meeting Jakob just 300 meters further, who supplied me with new batteries, and as soon as we knew where the line was, we rejoined it quickly. In the end, that took me 120 meters offline. And then, later on, this happened. We encountered a dense area, and like usual, Jakob went around with the luggage, and I went through it. Usually, we'd communicate with our phones on where we'd see each other again. When Jakob had already left though, I realized my phone was only on 5% and I didn't have internet there. And so, I ran after him on the path, but when I arrived at this crossroad, I had no idea where he went. Luckily, I did have internet there and saw his voice message telling me where we'd meet. In the end, that took me 620 meters offline. Or 96. Or 3. You guys can be the judge of that. In conclusion, on this last day, I went way too far offline at times. Sometimes due to factors out of my control, and also sometimes it was just my own fault. Next up was another house, and again the owner was at home, and he ended up giving us some horrifying information about the last few meters of our line. What did he say?
Basically said there's like, it's kind of flat here all the way until like a few meters in front of the river, like the Sauer, and at the river, like a few meters before the river, it's basically a cliff 30 meters down.
30? 13?
30.
What?
Oh.
We had come all the way and we're on the verge of completing the quest, but apparently at the very end a humongous cliff was waiting for us. We didn't really know if the cliff was on our line too though, and the only thing we could do was walk on and find out.
Kind of feel like I went back 25,000 years in time and I just have to move through everything because there were no paths back then. So people basically, I think, just had to move through nature and through fields and whatever was on their way to get somewhere. Only 2.5 kilometers to go. Final stretch. Gonna give it our all. We almost completed our quest to reach the German border in a straight line. Let's go!
Soon we were on the verge of seeing the finish, but as we feared, before it lay an unpassable obstacle.
Wow, this is steep again.
I guess that's the cliff he was talking about.
Oh fuck. I'm not sure there's a path down here, dude. Alright, so we're seriously doubting our chances of getting down because it's just way too steep all around here. Jakob just checked and the border is there. Jakob is gonna check some more. There might be a walking path here, but like the guy told us about it, but I don't know where it is and Jakob couldn't find it, so Jakob is gonna look for more places to get down, and otherwise we end the challenge 800 meters or even closer to our endpoint. We're gonna keep on looking.
So fucked up.
That wasn't entirely true though, as we could just try to find the closest way down and accept the distance that it would take us offline. And so, because I couldn't go too far offline, Jakob scouted the area for possible routes downwards.
You won't believe what I actually just found. There's like a path over there, just like kind of close, but still, I guess, too far. Let's just check it out.
How
It's
far
like,
is it, you think?
I don't know. Maybe like 30 meters, 50.
Luckily, Jakob found a path down that didn't take us kilometers offline, but still it wasn't ideal and it ended up taking us 94 meters offline.
Oh shit, Germany! Germany! Woo! Yeah! Germany! I can smell you! I can hear the cars on the road. Next to that road is the border. Alright, we just made it out of that forest and the river is at the other side of this field. The very last field. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. My legs cannot move anymore. We have officially walked about 42 kilometers and we have, after 4 long days of walking, first day we walked like 2.5 kilometers, so basically 3 long days of walking, we have finally reached the end. We have succeeded in our quest to reach the border. What a beautiful endpoint. Alright, I'm about to touch the water. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually here. Yes, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna touch it with my foot. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. I'm just gonna put my shoe in slightly. Yes! We made it! Woo! Yeah! Alright. Oh, we have like a broom